Hey family, and thanks for joining me on my journey from poverty to prosperity. This channel is about retraining your mind and using your time in order to become prosperous in every area of your life. Now, let's get it together. How I knew it was time for my toxic life to change. The first thing I want to say is, in this series that I'm doing here, I do not want to shame, or I do not want to belittle anybody in my life. There is people who play pertinent parts in my life, but this is about me. This is about me. This is about me growing, retraining my mind, using my time to be prosperous. So I will have to mention certain people here and there, but to those people, I just want to say in advance that I'm not trying to put you down. I'm not trying to put you out there or anything like that. But if I do have to mention you, then you were a very pertinent part to my situation. And I had to mention you. But for the most part, I'm going to keep it real brief. I'm going to keep it real vague so that people won't know. So anyway, how I knew it was time for my toxic life to change. When did it first occur to me that my life was toxic? Well, I just want to say that it occurred to me that my life was toxic several times in my life. But I'm going to give you guys the most, to me, the most prolific time is when I moved into a motel, and it seemed like I was fine, you know, until we moved our stuff in there, and then I ran a hot bath, and I got in the tub, and I instantly just started crying. I was devastated. At that point, I'm sitting there in the tub, and I'm thinking to myself, you're homeless. You are homeless. You're in a motel room, in the tub, with nowhere to go. So yeah, that's when it first occurred. That's when it first really hit me hard that my life was messed up. If you hear some talking, I'm at work. As you can see, the background in the back, I own a beauty salon, and I decided that I'm gonna take my videos here. Maybe not, because it's kind of noisy out there because I work near the door in the front. But speeding this up. So how did the first question was, when did it first occur to me that my life was toxic? The next question is, how did it make me feel to realize that my life was toxic? Okay, so I can tell you that I was really kind of numb. You know how people can be in a situation and you on the outside looking in, so you could say to them, hey, you know, that's a messed up situation. And they'd be like, what? I was running off survival mode at that point. I was numb. I was lying to myself and lying to other people. I was ashamed. I was in disbelief, and I was lost. I was really running off survival mode at that time because I was in a situation that I did not want to be in, but I felt like I had to be in that situation, so I stayed. And I felt dumb. You know, it was because I loved someone else more than I loved myself. And it was one of the worst times in my life. How, like, mentally, like I said, mentally, I was just trying to block it out. But sometimes it wouldn't work. And I would just start crying, and, you know, I tried to make the best of it. But it was horrible. It was horrible. Spiritually, I was lost. I had not been to church in a while, and I grew up in the church, but I had not been to church in years. So spiritually, I was just about dead. I wasn't dead spiritually, but I mean, I was definitely on my deathbed spiritually, you know. Physically, I felt okay. But of course, gaining weight, just gaining weight. I really didn't even realize how I was gaining weight because I was really just trying to work and survive at that time. But I guess I was just eating a lot of fast food and stressing out. So I gained quite a bit of weight. How was my life toxic? Well, I was going to work every day. I was working as a hairstylist at a salon. I was pretty, you know, I had a pretty nice clientele, but every single day I had to buy food. I had to, you know, I was buying marijuana. I was buying beer, probably chips, just junk food, and whatever necessities we needed. I probably would buy food to cook at the end of the day if we didn't go out and eat. Put gas in my car, maintaining my car. I had to pay my booth rent, you know, and stuff like that. And so it was like I really didn't have any money to pay like rent and light and gas and stuff like that, but I could come up with like $160 to pay for a room for the week. because when you was in the room, it had lights, gas, water, it had the furniture, it had everything you needed. So I didn't, need that much. And, but I was really bad with money. I was making, anywhere from $50 to maybe, $200 a day. It depended on the day or the situation. Maybe like $600 or $700 a week. But I just, I was bad with money, and when you bad with money, it's like pouring water through your hand. You never can catch it, and of course I had a son at that time, and I was emotionally and sometimes physically absent in my son's life because I was going through so much. I was out here trying to struggle. I was out here trying to, hide from my family that I was going through all of these things. I did not want my son to really know that I didn't have a place to stay, but eventually, I had to divulge that information to him. I was drinking and smoking and partying. I had a very passive aggressive personality. I was the kind of person that got along, that went along to get along. I was in, the person that I was with at that time, we was going through a lot, and it was just a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot, and that's how my life was pretty much toxic, So how long did it take me to start doing things to change? Well, I would say from that incident of me being in the tub crying when I first walked into the room, possibly a year, because it took me about 6 months. We stayed in the room for 6 months, and then got out of the room, and I went to go stay with a family member, and I ended up enrolling in school. So I started going to school. I started going to church every Sunday. That was great. It really helped me because I kind of separated from the relationship that I was in with the guy, and started going to church when I was living with my auntie, and started going to school. So yeah, so that was good, but I still was emotionally absent from my son's life and physically absent as well, because now I'm homeless. I don't have nowhere to go. So I usually let him stay with my mom, because I wanted him to be stable. Even though I wasn't stable, I wanted him to be stable, and I really felt like I was doing him a favor by making sure that he was okay. Later, I found out it wasn't. It backfired in my face severely, because children just want time with their parents. They don't care whether y'all up under the viaduct. Long as they with you, they don't care where y'all at and what y'all doing. And at that point, I didn't realize that. I just felt like I don't want him to be here. I don't want him to struggle. I don't want him to be cold. I don't want him to be out here. I mean, what if something happened to me up here in one of these rooms? You know, what if something, you know, so it was like I felt like I was doing him a favor, but I wasn't. And you know, that was toxic and messed up all in itself. I definitely cut down on my partying. I definitely, you know, well, not really, because I was still going over family members' houses, but I wasn't really, you know, hanging out with my friends as much. But family members, I would go over a couple family members' houses and still get a little party in there and here and there, but most of the time I was in school and at work. So that was that. All right, so my progress report right now. So it has to be like from that time in the tub from now. It has to be about 15 years that went past. So how much progress have I made so far? To tell you the truth, somebody on the outside looking in might say, oh, you're doing great, whatever. But to me, it took me a while. It took me a while because what happened, you know, I ended up getting a divorce. I had to, I ended up getting a divorce. When I got my divorce, I started drinking again, like profusely. Smoking weed. Now, I never stopped working, because I knew I had to have a job. Never stopped working, but I stopped paying my bills at home. Like, I was living this real reckless life. Like, it got so bad. That's why I say it was several times that I knew my life was toxic. But it got so bad after I got a divorce that I mean, I had to sit down myself and be like, what is you doing? Like, did you just do that? Like, you out here, you doing too much. You are humiliating your son. Your mother thinks you're crazy. My friends was like, they was really supportive at that time. They was really supportive, and I was glad that I had them around me. But we was all doing the same stuff. We was all just reckless because we were hurting. We were hurting. We were lost. We were confused. And so we drank. So we smoked. So we were promiscuous. Getting it in. And after that summer was over, I was just like, you know what? I don't know what just happened, but that don't need to happen no more. And not only do it not need to happen no more, that this need to stop. So I end up meeting the husband that I have now. And I stopped everything. Everything stopped. Everything came to a complete halt because I was losing it. I was losing it. I had just lost my whole grip on life. I was about to lose my house that I was living in. I had been living in that house for 10 years or better. I mean, it got real. It got so bad that the floor was about to totally drop from up under me, and I mean, I cared, but it was just so much wrong in my life and so much wrong that was going on with me that I don't really, I was just numb. I'm not gonna say I didn't care, because I did care, but I was numb. I was just numb. I was done. I had it. I had it, you know. And my progress report so far. I don't really do any partying at all. I don't go to clubs. I don't do none of that. Me and my husband, we just together all the time. No, I don't really have any friends anymore. I just stepped back and had to reevaluate everybody and everything in my life. And not that they not my friends. It's just that we're not actively in a friendship, because I made so many bad decisions that, I mean, I was just making bad decisions with anyone and everyone that I was with. So it's more like me, you know, getting myself together, because I can't go into an environment where other people are doing certain things and not join in. You know, so it's more me, you know, like, listen, until you get yourself together, until you learn how to go to a party and say no to the weed, and say no to the drinks, and, well, really, I don't even know why else you there, because that's what everybody is doing. So that's why I ain't doing nothing. I just put a complete halt on everything. It was like God just said, stop, 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 stop it. Just stand still for a second. You just moving and moving and moving and running and going and doing, and you just don't have no direction. You don't know what you just stop. Just stop. So that's exactly what I did. I just stopped and reevaluated my whole situation with everybody. And it was like I don't have any control over myself. I don't have any control over myself. I don't have, you know, I'm passive aggressive, and most people don't realize that, but I am. And I think people do realize that, because I got a lot of people who take advantage of that trait. So yeah, like I said, I remarried. I started a hair and wig business, which I'll link in the description below. I started this YouTube channel. Well, actually, I started a YouTube channel so long ago. I done changed the name 2 or 3 times, but this is something that I've always wanted to do. It's always like something that I've had in my heart, because even when I was in those horrible situations, something in my spirit was like, you're not supposed to be here. You are not supposed to be here. You are supposed to be a leader. You are supposed to be teaching. You are supposed to be helping people. You are supposed to be a professional. You know, these are things that I had in my spirit ever since I was a little girl. How in the world did you grow up to be a drunk? To be unprofessional? To be wild? To be financially illiterate? How did you grow up to be a bad mother? When did your life move in the wrong direction? And why didn't you stop it any sooner? In a way, I'm not gonna lie, it was fun. I had the time of my life. Getting to know myself, growing up, getting out of my mother's house, feeling grown, drinking, doing what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. You know, just whatever. You know, I'm out here, we doing it, let's go. You know, I ain't got nobody telling me I can't do nothing and all that kind of stuff, and it felt good. All the way up until it didn't. All the way up until 20 years later, and you ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. I am 49 years old. I will be 50 in less than 10 months. And I will say this. I am so embarrassed ashamed and upset that I literally wasted about 25 years of my life being scared, being passive aggressive, not making the right decisions, moving slow, not being sure of myself. Being so lonely that I was willing to be around people who wasn't necessarily treating me right or treating me the best, just so I can say I had somebody to be around. Not feeling like I was worthy of things, not feeling like I was smart enough. I let people intimidate me. Talk about me behind my back, steal from me, use me, abuse me at times. But yeah, I had to forgive myself, forgive other people. And at 49 years old, here I am. Who still be at the bottom at this age? Who still be at the bottom? Be that as it may, We're going to start from today. Because it's too hard to live the other way. I've lived a life without water, without heat, without, no, I never, well, the lights done got cut off, but we know how to cut them back on. But I've lived the hard life. I done caught the bus in the snow. I have walked. I have, you know, have had little to eat, even though it don't seem like it, but yeah. I mean, I've been poor. I've been there, and that's too hard, and I don't ever want to go back to that. So I'm choosing my hard. Instead of it being a hard life of being in poverty, I would rather choose the hard road of getting to this money. Get into the prosperity of it all. I believe that I got at least another 30 to 40 years to live differently. Instead of living the way I lived before, now I want to make new friends, business friends. I love to talk about money. I love to talk about building. I love to talk about changing for the better. I love to be around positive people. I love to be around, I just want to have a circle of people to where we're building and loving each other and treating each other with respect and not laughing at each other behind our backs and talking about each other when we walk away from each other and stuff like that. I don't want to be in friendships like that. I want to be in real, genuine friendships where we're open and we're honest with each other, and where we know how to communicate and we know how to tell each other things and talk about things, and just be cool. Just be cool with each other. I would like to go back to school and get my doctorate degree in psychology. I want to have own a real estate, go into real estate and own some apartment buildings. I want to own a hall. I want to expand my salon into like a huge salon. I want to stop smoking. I still smoke cigarettes. I still drink pretty much every day. But it's not like, alcohol, like drunk. It's just, I drink every day. I do. I drink every day. I want to stop doing that. I want to heal from rejection and neglect. I definitely, am sorry for the way that my life affected my children. And I say children because I have one biological son, but I have had other children in my life that I have raised and was trying to be a mother to. And because I was no good myself, I did the best I could do, but it wasn't good enough. It was not good enough. And my children especially my biological son, suffered severely for the way I live my life. And I would say that alone almost took me into the deepest depression, on the verge of nervous breakdown, because the damage that I've done to him is so irreparable. I can't take it back. But it's like it's done, and there's nothing I could do with it. And now I have to live with the consequences and the repercussions of what happened to him. And that just breaks my heart. But the only thing I can do is apologize to him. And if you're watching this, I love you. And I've said I was sorry several times, you know, and I'm still say it, and I'll continue to say it as many times as I need to, as well as needing to say I'm sorry to other people, other family members, like my mother, you know, because I was hiding a lot. You know, I took her through a lot. She went through a lot, you know, because she kept my son, you know, raised my son. So it was like, I got a lot to do. I got a lot to do. There's no way that I can go back in time, but what I'm trying to do now is change my life for the better. I'm trying to change my attitude. I'm trying to change the way I think. I'm trying to, you know, lose some weight, you know, 160 pounds. So, I mean, we're going to be doing all of that on here. So I hope that you are here and that you stay with me, and that you tune in, subscribe to the channel, all of that kind of stuff, because we're not only going to change spiritually, we're going to change physically, and we're going to change mentally, and we're going to forgive ourselves, and we're going to forgive others, and learn how to move on with our lives, and how to have a better second part of our life than we did the first part of our life. We got control of our life. So thanks for watching. If I said something that you can identify with, hit the like button. If I said something you know that can help someone else, hit the share button. If you want to travel with me on my journey from poverty to prosperity, subscribe to my channel. I love you. And always remember, life is a choice. You don't have to settle. You can change just by making the decision to retrain your mind and make better use of your time. It's the difference between being poor and being prosperous. I hope we all make it. See you next time.